So the next talk is by Charles Grant. And the title is New Results on TT-W and photo production with the Atlas experiment. Maybe last call for Mohamed Jafar? No? Okay.
Hi all. So I'm Charles, thanks for having me here. So I'm a doctoral student at the University of Adelaide in Australia, as well as the University of Paris, where I'm currently based. And so today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the recent results of the measurement of the photon and TW cross-sections of the Atlas detector. So just like a quick look at top-up production. So top-up, as you might know, is a really important tool for us for testing the standard model and as well investigating any beyond standard model processes as well, and this is particularly due to the fact of its strong coherence coupling. And as well, today I'll be talking to you about TTW as well as photon, particularly due to the fact that they're quite interlinked, from the fact that TTW actually plays a really large role as a background within our photon measurement in our multilateral final states. And so just here, I've just got a picture of our top-up production cross-sections at Atlas, and you can see TTW is in the middle there, and then photon is a super rare process. It's all the way down the end. It's actually one of the probably heaviest processes that we actually have access to at the LHC. It's a standard process. So we'll get straight into the TTW cross-section measurement. So we look at TTW in multilateral final states in 2 lepton, same sign, as well as 3 lepton. As well, within our final states, we're going to have a couple of jets in there with at least one tightly tagged B jet or 2 loose B tag jets as well, just because we've got those 12 processes. And as well, within this, we've got a couple of backgrounds within this. So our physical backgrounds are our diboson and TTZ systems, which present pretty similar final state products, like similarly kinematic distributions. And as well, in terms of instrumental background, we've got some charge misidentification as well as non-proper leptons. And so you can see on the right, so we'll break down some of our control regions that we might break up these backgrounds into to kind of get an estimate on these. I'll talk a little bit about backgrounds in a sec. In terms of our TTW production, TTW actually is quite a really complicated process to model, particularly at higher order terms come into play a lot, particularly some complex QCD and electroweak modeling. And so typically at Atlas and as well as CMS over various measurements, we're kind of consistently underestimating our TTW MC by about 20 to 50%, which is something, a bit of motivation of why we want to kind of investigate TTW a little bit more. So just going to the actual backgrounds of these. So as I mentioned, we've got our diboson and our TTZ backgrounds. And so these are estimated using our simulated events, so our MC, and then these are adjusted for normalization factors that are determined from likelihood fits to the actual data. And so we can see our normalization factors that come out from them that have been applied to these. And then as well, we've got our instrumental backgrounds. So these are our non-proper leptons. And so these are coming from heavy flavor decays. And as well, we are also getting charge misidentification, which is coming from Bremsstrahlung or mismeasured tracks. And so the non-proper leptons are estimated from our MC. And then these are normalized to a data again, but using a template fit. And as I mentioned, coming from the heavy flavor decays. And as well, for our charge misidentification, so this is can be estimated using a data-driven method. And so this is done by measuring our Z to E plus V minus. And so we can get an estimate of our actual mismeasurement of the charge from this. And so we've got some normalization factors to see here. And then just on the right is just a couple of control region plots looking at for our heavy flavor electron in the top right and heavy flavor in the bottom right. Move on to the actual measurement of the inclusive TW cross sections. So this is done using via a simultaneous profile likelihood fit to our event yields in our 56 heme regions and 10 control regions. And these regions are typically broken up into by different charge, flavor, multiplicity of jets and multiplicity of B jets. And so measure this at 890 femtobonds, which is consistent of our 1.5 sigma level with SAM model predictions. And the main systematic uncertainties that we get from this are typically from, as I mentioned, our TTW modeling, which is quite complicated, some non-prompt isolation BT calibrations, and also TTH and 4-top also does play a bit of a role in our background, and the uncertainty comes from their normalization factors, as well as the big tanking. And you can see the result for our cross-section measurement in the bottom left, and also CMSs. As well, from this, we're able also to look at other properties of TTW, but I don't have that much time today, so I won't be able to go into that as much detail, but also able to measure a charge asymmetry and also cross-section ratio between the TTW plus and TTW minus, but both of these in summary were consistent with our MC function. Then as well, a really important result from TTW as well is the measurement of the differential cross-section. So this is done from a profile likelihood unfolding at particle level in the fusion phase space. And so we use the same background, model and control regions are included in the fit. And so what we do is we look at 7 different variables, observables that are chosen for various reasons, for theoretical or experimental reasons. And so what we can do is unfold this and basically look at how well we understand our TTW. And what's really important from this result, I've got our number of jets observable here listed, shown, but so we can look at it as the absolute cross-section, but what's more important is the normalized cross-section, and particularly that we are able to model the shape distribution of our TTW within these observables, which is really important for telling us that we're able to understand like this, understand TTW at a kinetic level. I'll move on to the four-top production now. So, as I mentioned, four-top is one of the heavier standard model processes that we have access to at the LHC. You can see the Feynman diagrams up there, particularly of note for later, particularly the Higgs mediation in the right-hand one. I'll show Higgs there. And so this is important, particularly when we move to looking at beyond standard model processes as well, and that top color coupling with the Higgs. And so that's a bit of motivation why I want to measure the four-top as well as actually measuring it for the first time. So we'll look at that four-top final state, so very similar to TTW. We're looking at 2 lepton same sign and 3 lepton final states. And we're just going to have some more jets and big jets in there just because we've got a larger system of tops with comparison to TTW. And as well, we're also going to require to look at, high transverse momentum systems as well, just because we're dealing with 4 tops, which is such a large system, we're kind of, expect there's going to be lots going on. Similarly, to TW, we've got the main standard model backgrounds, which are like TTH, TTZ, and TTW. And as well, once again, those non-quantum leptons and charge misidentification are coming into play again for our TTW. I won't go into too much detail about the backgrounds of this because it's treated in a very similar way that we do for our TTW as well. But it's just a little breakdown of the pie chart there of how we treat our different backgrounds for this. So onto the actual cross-section result. So to do this, we use a graph neural net to separate our signal from our background. And then from this, we can perform a maximum likelihood fit with this GNN sort distribution of our signal region and our different control regions. And so from this, we're actually able to get our first ever observation of a four-top at a 6.1 significance level, which is pretty cool. And so you might have noticed a couple of years ago, we put out a paper looking at the publishing of our evidence of four-top. And so this is actually a reanalysis of our run-through data, and a lot of the improvements that we got within this measurement came from our updated jet and lepton selection treatments, and also the use of the GNN discriminant as well. And so you can see on the right just a plot of our GNN score and as well. In terms of expected significance, is about 4.3, 4.7 sigma, depending on the assumed standard model cross-section that you're actually referring to. And so this is a higher than expected observation of our four-top, and so that I guess opens up to the door for new physics interpretations as well. So I'll go over a couple of them. And so here, first look at the top color coupling. So as I mentioned, thought it was quite sensitive to measure the top Higgs and color coupling, and its cross-section can be enhanced by super-odd coupling parameters. And so we can define this by a couple of parameters. So we've got our kappa T, which is our coupling strength parameter, and also alpha, which is our mixing angle. And so in a strictly standard model framework, this kappa would be equal to 1, and our alpha mixing angle is going to be 0. And so you can see the 2D negative low likelihood plot on the bottom left, and so you can see we can kind of put limits on these limits of kappa. We can put different ones depending on what TTH model we're using, particularly as it's important background within four-top. But essentially, you can see in this plot what we'd expect from the standard model, which is the blue star, and then you can see, where we can put those limits on our kappa. As well, we can explore EFT parameters as well, so it's quite sensitive to heavy flavor fermion operators within an EFT framework, and those are listed here. And so these ones can allow to the, exploration of BSM models, but as well, it would also, these particular ones would enhance interactions of third generation quarks. And so from our result, we can kind of put limits on these. And then another thing we're sensitive to is the self-energy correction of the Higgs boson that affects the off-shell Higgs interaction. And as you saw in the final diagram, we've got an off-shell Higgs within our decay, so of interest. And so we can also put limits on this oblique parameter from our result as well, which is, and then, just to summarize, so 2 new ATLAS results with full run-through data have been looked at this year in model-level and final states. One looking at the inclusive and differential cross-sections of TTW, particularly of importance is the differential cross-section, where we exhibit really good agreement with our shape distributions in the standard model, and as well looking at the first observation of the four-point process with the reanalysis of our run-2 data at a 6.1 significance level, which opens up the door for us to start looking at beyond standard model interpretations. So, thank you.
Thank you, Charles, for this interesting talk. So let's take 1 or 2 questions. If you can present yourself before asking the question.
Hello, this is Sundari from INFM Frascati. I just wanted to ask a technical question. You said you did signal-to-background classification with graph neural network.
Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't quite catch the first part of that.
So I was wondering why did you choose this algorithm?
I can't answer why we chose this specific. I didn't work specifically on the graph neural network, so I couldn't tell you exactly why we chose this specific graph neural network.
Okay, because I'm wondering whether there's really some of these algorithms that performs better in some specific kinds of signal and background separation. And if you in the future get an answer to this, please contact me or let me know because I'm investigating the matter. Thank you.
Thanks for the nice talk. This is Yakub from IHAP. I just have one quick question about the four-top analysis. If I understand it correctly, what you say is that for this end you have 2 lepton same time and 3 lepton, right? I can understand for the TDW, but for the four-top, why didn't you have 4 lepton analysis? So
why don't we, particularly when referencing this, how it does branch out to higher lepton final states as well in terms of referencing that. I think it was looked at that it got quite messy at higher lepton at numbers, and we got a much cleaner signal within our 2 lepton same sign and 3 lepton as well.
Rashid from Academia. Just a short question. So the excess you have with respect to standard model predictions, when you make it into lepton flavors, do you have any difference depending on lepton flavor, or it's a similar?
Looked into it, but not particularly a large difference as well. And we're dealing with really low. Particularly because four-tops are rare, we're dealing with such low event numbers for this as well. It's quite hard to, probably quantify differences between differences at this point. But looking forward for run through and being able to collect more data, which would allow us to investigate.
thank Charles again.